Well, greetings. I've been meaning to do this for quite a while, as I'm going to list, and it's a long list, all of the wonderful, incredibly entertaining Black comedians over the decades, as I have seen some of the shows recently on Stars and HBO, which I was grateful for. The comedians are not listed in any particular order, and I may be missing a few of them, so here goes. Richard Pryor, Dave Chappelle, Red Fox, Chris Rock, Kevin Hart, Cedric the Entertainer, Bernie Mac, Tracy Morgan, Cat Williams, D.L. Hewley, Steve Harvey, Patrice O'Neill, Dick Gregory, Flip Wilson, Keenan Thompson, Lunell, Roy Wood Jr., Moms Mabley, Wanda Sykes, Martin Lawrence, Jamie Foxx, Monique, Sinbad, Maya Rudolph, it's a long list, Eddie Griffin, Keegan Michael Key, David Allen Greer, Paul Mooney, Robin Harris, Chris Tucker, Tiffany Haddish, Godfrey Cambridge, Hannibal Buress, all of the Wayne brothers and sisters, and Whoopi Goldberg. And lastly, I hope I didn't leave anyone out. All of these comedians opened our eyes, made me cry laughing at times, and their talent was overwhelming, and they changed the landscape of comedy forever. And lastly, I shouldn't say and lastly, the Oxford Dictionary's word for the year for 2024 is brain rot, right? That's brain rot. That's interesting. Very apropos, and that reflects a defining theme for the past 12 months of the year. And I've been a part of it myself. No surprise there. I ran into some old documents from about 15 years ago, and the first one I saw was from the time I was working for Cablevision, and a bunch of whacked out employees would send snarky emails. So I responded to one that showed a list of work orders, and on the top of the list indicated employees that I had helped with certain needs. And this one guy was kind of a wacky personality also. And I responded to one of his emails by noticing at the top line on the left indicated wellness, and below that was Dave's full name. And we were constantly busting each other's chops, so I pointed arrows to each column saying, here are two words and names you don't see together too often. The next one that I sent to some other people that didn't mind having some fun, it's basically impossible to be serious all the time at work, which could be quite boring. At the time, a woman was pitching a job with our group, and I stated that the Grand Council members on the 17th floor will meet on Tuesday, April 26th, to vote on the acceptance and membership of Amanda to our domain. The customary two-thirds vote will be required to pass in order for Amanda to be accepted. We wish her luck. Perchance she is accepted to the 17th floor as an initiation. Amanda will be required to perform either 12 bars of a popular Broadway musical, or two full karaoke songs of our choice, or a dramatic soliloquy of Harold Pinter by Harold Pinter, or a Monty Python skit, without the assistance of alcohol, Vicodin, or weed. We got away with that one. You know the old saying that women want to be swept off their feet, and that's exactly what I did with my dear wife as I told her, here's a broom, get to work. And naturally, that never happened because I would never have seen her again. If there is a God or was a God, I would expect that he, she, or it must be quite exhausted. And then there's the question stating, where is he, she, or it? Everywhere? And how would he, she, or it be able to do that? And what does God look like? Maybe we'll meet God when we die. And I'm sure that would be a shocker. I wonder what God would say to us. Despite all these questions, I still have my doubts. You ask why? Well, after all this time, I would think that he, she, or it would show up and make an appearance. That would be nice. And lastly, why do we keep hiding? Why do you keep hiding? Perhaps you're dead, or you just didn't really exist all from the beginning. My wife was getting organized to throw out some old stuff that we didn't need or use anymore, and there was plenty of it. And wasn't surprised when I noticed that she put a sign on the wall stating, please throw out my husband. He's totally useless. And also, I'll make arrangements to pick up his car. Thank you. I'm trying to find a way to bring liquor with me when I die. Why not? I know it could be difficult to get it past the gates of eternity. And who knows, maybe they have plenty of it, and I don't want to be stuck with just water or any other non-alcoholic beverages. Plus, I don't want to hang out with people who don't imbibe. Those who do are much more interesting. And one hurdle I would encounter in heaven is that most of the people I know and loved went to hell, I surmise. And I will be pissed if they don't have liquor there. And again, to think, maybe I have it backwards. Perhaps hell might be the better choice because I would expect that they would have liquor. This is a real intellectual topic. And don't take me wrong, I'm not an alcoholic and I don't drink as often as you would think. At my age, you have to reel this activity in, especially at nearly 70, right? 71. I now sanction the FDR Drive with a new and more appropriate name. It will now be titled the FDR Crawl. The FDR could stand for Found on Road Dead also. And yes, expect major delays. And I'm sure that there are some unfortunate people that actually died in the car to get to their destination. I wouldn't doubt it. I highly recommend watching two comedians, Sebastian Maniscalco and Brian Regan. Both of them are absolute riot, and all their bits are very relatable. Two top-notch comedians. And recently, I was driving on Route One in Milford. My son just moved there, and I noticed that this section of businesses, car dealers, restaurants, food stores, delis, pizza joints, such as Napoli Pizza, Napoli Auto Express, Napoli Kia, Napoli Classics, Napoli Motors, and Napoli Foods. You think it might be run by the mob? I mean, Milford is less than 70 miles from New York City, and Naples in Italy is a major base for the mob. Just an observation. I imagine that these businesses take in a load of money, and these businesses are all within a very small radius on Route 1. And lastly, a memory of a trip we took back in 2016 on the Viking River cruise. We went to various cities in the Rhine River, and while we were dining at a German restaurant in Strasbourg and we were seated, I had to use the men's room, and I asked one of the waiters where the bathroom was, and he said, he made the Ziegel suit like this very quickly in an exaggerated move as if he was a soldier. And I was thinking to myself, World War II ended in 1945. What are you doing? And these Germans are so militaristic. However, the food was very good, and I enjoyed the carousel of beers they would leave at our table. That was very cool, and I am out.